The governance foundations of an ISMS form the pillars that sustain its effectiveness. Leadership is not a symbolic inclusion, it is a formal requirement within ISO 2700. Executives must demonstrate accountability by setting clear policies, assigning responsibilities, and ensuring adequate resourcing. Without leadership commitment, an ISMS risks becoming a paper exercise rather than a living program. Governance ensures that the ISMS aligns with the organization's strategic goals and risk appetite, so that security decisions are neither overreaching nor underprotective. A properly governed ISMS includes regular oversight through management reviews, board reporting, and structured performance metrics. These mechanisms transform security from a technical function into a core part of corporate governance, where information protection is treated as seriously as financial integrity or regulatory compliance. The lifecycle orientation of an ISMS is what makes it sustainable. Information security cannot be a set-and-forget initiative because threats, technologies, and business contexts continuously evolve. The ISMS lifecycle, planning, implementing, monitoring, and improving, ensures that security remains dynamic rather than static. Each stage builds on the previous one, creating a cycle of learning and adaptation. This approach mirrors corporate risk management cycles and strategic planning rhythms, ensuring that information security is not isolated from the organization's broader operations. A lifecycle mindset embeds resilience by keeping controls relevant, documentation current, and management engaged. It turns compliance from a one-time milestone into an enduring process of refinement and optimization. The concept of continuous improvement in management systems originates from the Plan, Do, Check, Act (PDCA) model, a simple yet powerful approach to systematic learning. The PDCA model was first popularized by W. Edwards Deming, a pioneer of quality management, and it has since become a core philosophy across nearly all ISO standards. In essence, PDCA promotes a feedback-driven cycle of planning, implementation, evaluation, and correction. It assumes that no system is ever perfect, only capable of better performance with each iteration. This philosophy of ongoing refinement allows organizations to adjust gradually rather than overhaul suddenly. Applied to an ISMS, PDCA creates a living management structure that thrives on learning from evidence rather than assumptions. It embeds a cadence of planning, acting, and reflecting that keeps the ISMS aligned with changing realities. In the plan phase, an organization establishes its ISMS framework by defining the scope, objectives, and boundaries of its security management. This is where context setting takes place, identifying which business processes, information assets, and locations fall under the ISMS, and understanding the stakeholders involved. Risk assessment and treatment planning occur here, ensuring that the organization's security controls address its most critical vulnerabilities. Objectives are established based on these risks, often tied to compliance goals, customer expectations, or internal efficiency improvements. The plan phase concludes with the development of core policies and documentation, such as the information security policy, risk treatment plans, and control objectives. These documents form the blueprint upon which all future actions rest, defining both intent and direction for the ISMS journey. The Do phase brings the strategy to life. This is the phase of action, where the planned controls, processes, and governance structures are implemented across the organization. Procedures are established to ensure that policies are consistently executed in daily operations. Resources are allocated, roles are clarified, and communication mechanisms are put in place. Equally important, the Do phase emphasizes the human element, ensuring staff understand their responsibilities through training, awareness programs, and skill development initiatives. A well-executed Do phase creates operational confidence, ensuring that everyone from executives to frontline employees participates in the security process. It transforms plans into habits and ensures that protection is woven into everyday workflows. The Check phase introduces objectivity and accountability into the ISMS cycle. It is the point at which assumptions are tested and outcomes measured. Organizations collect data to evaluate whether the controls implemented during the Do phase are functioning effectively. Key performance indicators, KPIs, and audit results provide visibility into both successes and deficiencies. Internal audits play a central role here, serving as independent evaluations that validate whether the ISMS conforms to both ISO 27001 requirements and the organization's own policies. Findings from these assessments reveal areas that require correction or improvement, turning the check phase into a diagnostic engine. It provides management with evidence to make informed decisions and ensures that the ISMS remains grounded in fact rather than perception. The act phase is where improvement becomes institutionalized. Corrective and preventive actions are developed to address the deficiencies identified during the check phase. For instance, if a control failed due to lack of staff training, the organization might expand its awareness programs. If metrics reveal a recurring issue in access control management, leadership may reevaluate procedures or assign additional oversight. Management reviews occur here, providing an opportunity to realign the ISMS with the organization's strategic objectives. The ACT phase ensures that lessons learned translate into tangible progress, and that improvement is not left to chance. Over time, this repetitive loop drives maturity, turning the ISMS into a self-sustaining, continually improving system. One of the defining strengths of the PDCA cycle within the ISMS is its adaptability. The model is scalable and can be applied to organizations of all sizes, from multinational corporations to small enterprises. Its structure offers predictability, while still allowing flexibility in execution. Each iteration of the cycle builds upon the lessons of the previous one, fostering institutional learning. This adaptability ensures that even as technologies evolve, new threats emerge, or organizational priorities shift, the ISMS remains relevant. PDCA ensures that improvement is not reactive to crises, but proactive, embedded into the normal rhythm of operations. It makes information security part of the organization's strategic reflexes. Another critical aspect of PDCA in practice is the emphasis on evidence-based decision-making. Each phase produces documentation and data that feed into the next, ensuring transparency and traceability. The planning documents guide implementation. Operational metrics inform evaluation, and audit results shape corrective actions. This documentation flow ensures accountability and provides a clear audit trail, an essential requirement for ISO 27001 certification. Evidence allows organizations to demonstrate to external auditors that their IMSS is not theoretical but actively managed. More importantly, it reinforces trust internally, showing employees and executives alike that progress in security is measurable, repeatable, and defensible. When properly executed, PDCA transforms information security from a compliance obligation into an organizational habit. Each iteration strengthens awareness, refines controls, and reinforces governance. The ISMS becomes an adaptive framework, one that evolves with experience, not just with regulation. This continual motion is what differentiates ISO 27001 certified organizations from those that treat security as a one-time project. The result is not only reduced risk, but also an ingrained culture of vigilance and improvement. Employees become more security conscious, managers make better informed decisions, and executives can demonstrate accountability with confidence. PDCA ensures that security excellence is never a destination. It is a continuous, deliberate journey. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Governance structures play a vital role in sustaining the PDCA cycle within an ISMS. They establish the decision-making bodies, communication channels, and oversight mechanisms that keep the system moving. Many organizations form information security steering committees composed of executives, department heads, and key operational leaders. These groups review metrics, approve risk treatment plans, and monitor progress toward objectives. By integrating the ISMS into existing corporate compliance or risk committees, organizations avoid redundancy and ensure alignment with broader governance frameworks. Documented accountability is critical here. Each improvement plan must have a responsible owner, a timeline, and measurable outcomes. Effective governance also emphasizes communication, ensuring that results and decisions are shared with relevant stakeholders so that everyone understands how security performance connects to organizational success. Cultural reinforcement is equally essential. Even the most sophisticated management systems falter without human engagement.
An ISMS thrives when employees see themselves as active participants in security, not passive recipients of policy. This means cultivating a culture where reporting incidents, near misses, or potential vulnerabilities is encouraged rather than punished. Awareness campaigns, ongoing training, and recognition programs help connect individual behavior to organizational outcomes. Over time, this builds a sense of shared responsibility. Security becomes how we do things here, not an external mandate. When staff understand that information protection safeguards not just data, but also reputation and trust, they are more motivated to sustain good practices. In this way, culture becomes the invisible infrastructure that supports every phase of PDCA.
The ISMS framework also depends on disciplined documentation to demonstrate performance and maturity. Documentation serves as both a reference point and a record of accountability. Policies and procedures outline expectations, while operational logs, reports, and metrics provide evidence of execution. Audit trails confirm that processes are being followed, and management reviews summarize the findings that drive improvement. Continual documentation updates are vital. Outdated records quickly undermine credibility during internal or external assessments. Rather than viewing documentation as bureaucracy, successful organizations treat it as a storytelling tool that captures the evolution of their ISMS. Each revision reflects growth, adaptation, and learning, reinforcing the PDCA cycle's essence of continuous improvement.
A distinctive advantage of ISO's approach is how well it aligns with other management system standards through the Annex SL structure, a universal framework used across all ISO systems. Because PDCA underpins standards like ISO 9001 for quality management and ISO 22031 for business continuity, organizations can integrate their ISMS with other governance programs. This integration avoids duplication and promotes a unified management strategy. For example, risk assessments conducted for quality or continuity objectives can inform information security planning, creating shared insight across disciplines. The harmonized structure makes it easier for organizations to expand their certifications or manage multiple frameworks simultaneously. In practice, this means security does not operate in isolation, but as a complementary force supporting the entire business ecosystem. Despite its advantages, implementing PDCA within an ISMS is not without challenges. Over-formalization can slow progress, as excessive documentation or procedural rigidity may discourage responsiveness. Some organizations struggle with defining meaningful performance metrics, making it difficult to measure real improvement. Leadership fatigue is another concern. Management reviews can become repetitive if the focus shifts from learning to checkbox compliance. After initial certification, enthusiasm may wane, and sustaining momentum becomes harder. To overcome these issues, organizations must remember that PDCA is not about perfection but progression. Each cycle should simplify, refine, and strengthen, not merely repeat. The key lies in keeping the ISMS practical and dynamic, ensuring it evolves as the organization learns and grows. When applied effectively, PDCA delivers a wealth of benefits. Its structured rhythm introduces predictability into improvement activities, allowing teams to plan updates, audits, and reviews with clarity. Feedback loops become the driver of maturity, ensuring lessons from incidents or assessments lead to tangible change. Stakeholders gain visibility into the organization's security posture through documented progress and measurable results. This transparency builds confidence, internally with employees and externally with regulators, partners, and customers. PDCA also enhances resilience. When new threats or technologies emerge, organizations already accustomed to systematic review can adapt faster. In a constantly shifting threat landscape, this agility is among the greatest advantages a security program can have. To understand PDCA's real-world impact, consider how it applies in everyday organizational scenarios. A company experiencing a rise in phishing attacks may use the check phase to analyze incident data and identify weak points in user awareness. The act phase might then introduce targeted training and simulated phishing exercises. In the next plan phase, leadership could update security objectives to reduce click-through rates by a defined percentage, followed by implementing new technical controls in the do phase. Similarly, when expanding into a new market, an organization might re-examine data protection requirements under local laws, adjusting its risk treatment plan and scaling resources accordingly. Even failed supplier audits become valuable inputs. Lessons learned fuel improvements in vendor management processes, ensuring stronger partnerships in the next cycle. Over time, PDCA transforms from a procedural requirement into a natural rhythm of organizational life. Each completed cycle strengthens resilience, reduces audit surprises, and improves overall performance. The organization becomes accustomed to anticipating issues rather than reacting to them. Security metrics evolve from lagging indicators, like incident counts, to leading indicators, such as employee engagement or early detection rates. This evolution reflects a deeper maturity, where the ISMS no longer serves merely as a compliance instrument, but as a strategic asset. It equips leadership with insight, empowers teams with clear direction, and unites departments under a shared goal, protecting the integrity of the organization's information and reputation. The long-term impact of PDCA within an ISMS is cultural as much as operational. It embeds resilience into the organization's DNA, creating a proactive mindset that values improvement over stability. Regular audits and reviews become less about uncovering faults and more about discovering opportunities. This shift fosters optimism and innovation in security management, encouraging teams to seek better ways of working rather than simply meeting minimum requirements. As organizations mature through successive PDCA cycles, they experience fewer crises, faster recoveries, and stronger stakeholder confidence. The ISMS becomes not only a safeguard against risk, but also a symbol of the organization's capability to learn, adapt, and thrive in a complex digital world. In conclusion, the ISMS lifecycle guided by PDCA ensures that information security remains adaptive, evidence-driven, and continuously improving. The Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle transforms security from a reactive task into an integrated management discipline. Supported by governance, culture, and documentation, it provides the structure necessary for enduring maturity. When embedded effectively, PDCA becomes more than a framework. It becomes a philosophy of sustainable security excellence. This prepares the foundation for exploring the evolving updates within the ISO 27000 family, where these principles find their modern expression in the latest standards and best practices.